I was expecting a Tololi song. Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm Farida. I would like you to pardon me for reading from my notes because I haven't slept so much in the past couple of days and I don't want to lose track. But it is really great to be here to see what Btrust has achieved over the past couple of years of existence and to see this Bitcoin Developers Day take place for the second time in a row on the margin of the Africa Bitcoin Conference. It is really an honor to work with the Btrust team over the past years as one of our main sponsor for the Africa Bitcoin Conference. In my address today, I wanted to tackle a couple of things. I would like to start by addressing the fact that we are all very much aware as a continent that things are hard, especially when it comes to the financial situation of our nations. When it came to the aftermath of the COVID-19 economic crisis, our countries have been hit the hardest, and of course, we understand the reasons. We do have the worst level of infrastructural deficits. We do also face a lot of political crises and hurdles, issues with corruption, poor planning, but also we suffer a lot from existing global financial systems that do not really favor the business space, the creativity space on the continent. So we all feel the hits one way or another. And the beauty of Bitcoin is that it is a technology that has been really, to a whole new extent, helping alleviate those difficulties by making financial transactions more secure, more accessible, and less costly for the average person on the continent. The people who are driving this work are developers, and this made you the cornerstone of the Bitcoin revolution. When it comes to Bitcoin adoption on the continent, the adoption, I call it a natural one. It is not hyped by people's intention of necessarily becoming super rich, but simply being able to bypass the difficulties and the hurdles that we face continuously when it comes to moving money from point A to point B, when it comes to accessing money or even accessing banking. As a result, there is no way this change can happen without your work, without your efforts, without your innovation, without your creativity. So you are the foot soldiers of the Bitcoin work in Africa, and we acknowledge and we are really, truly stand behind your efforts and your sacrifices. And one of the things that motivates us at the Africa Bitcoin Conference is to be able to bring together people from a variety of backgrounds, from different parts of the world, to provide an opportunity to those on the continent to be able to share knowledge, because we understand that when people meet and people mingle, new ideas pop up and projects also grow. So we want you over the next couple of days to take advantage of this space, to be able to strengthen your network, to expand your knowledge, to build on what you have already been working on, and to continue pushing for us to have more access to Bitcoin on the continent. Before I finish, I would like to also address something that is to some extent personal. In our journey of organizing the Africa Bitcoin Conference, as painful as it is, the least support we have received from the work we have been doing has come from African startups and African companies. While initially launching this project, we wanted it to be an opportunity for African developers, African startups, African entrepreneurs to be able to expand their world and to build on their world. But unfortunately, we receive very little support from this community. We have seen situations where African startups that operate entirely and only in Africa, sponsoring Bitcoin conferences in Latin America, in the United States, and telling us in Africa that they cannot help, when their entire market is in Africa. We have seen situations like African startups not even approaching us to discuss partnership, to discuss sponsorship, like it was the case with Tando, and then using our conference, our logo, our space to promote their work, And when we complain, they think we are overstepping boundaries. It is personal because we understand the costs, not just the financial one, but the emotional cost in organizing an event that we want to be at the scale of a proper global event on the continent that will have a proper reputation. I have been told in the early years of the Africa Bitcoin conference that our project was too ambitious. Our dream was too expensive, that for Africa, we don't need something that fancy. We should just find maybe a university hall and bring people, bring some students and be done with it. But I want us in Africa to have the kind of startups and businesses that will compete on a global scale. I want our developers to also be acknowledged, to be respected on a global scale. And for that reason, I wanted the quality of Africa, of the Africa Bitcoin Conference to be at the world standard. For that reason, it requires logistics, it requires resources, it requires effort. And as much as I appreciate some of the companies, in the few African companies that have believed in us, like Bitnob, like Mashankura, we want to see more of that. So while you are on your journey, some of you will be building projects, will be building companies. We need to understand that those who will uplift you the most and those who will use your services are on this continent. And they are the ones that you must care about investing in. You must not have the same level of exploitative mindset that has set this continent backward for many generations and many decades, and we are all paying the prices today. We need to understand that it is by a collective support and understanding, collective effort and sacrifices that we can really make Bitcoin work for Africa. So on this, I'm going to wish you a wonderful day, an amazing learning experience, and I hope you have a memorable experience at the Africa Bitcoin Conference. Thank you.